Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up, Basement Bookiverse? Welcome to episode
Finally, The Rock! The Rock is back. Finally, The Rock has come back to the WWE.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
The Rock is back on SmackDown. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 499th episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast. It's your boy, Basement Jer, once again with the reigning, defending. He hasn't defended it yet. The reigning champion of the basement, Rich the Riz. The extra Z is silent until he goes outside. Welcome to the because it's really spelled with two Z's, by the way. So anyway, welcome everybody back. Thank you for joining the Basement Bookers, liking and subscribing if you haven't already. For the low introductory offer of free forever.
How much does it cost?
It's free.
You can also throw in a like or subscribe, maybe an alert button. But for now, my time is done. Let us all hear from the world basement heavyweight champion, not so heavy anymore,
Thank you.
who has COVID.
I do.
He is doing this. He is performing with COVID. It doesn't matter. He'll wrestle with COVID.
I'm here
Everyone's
for you.
afraid to come for him.
I'm here for the people.
The people, like
right.
The Rock.
That's right. He is the people's champion, and I was talking, and it's okay. And
If anybody's getting angry, we agreed to this. It was a bit, so don't even worry about it. This was the whole bit originally. We're equal partners here, so mainly.
Yeah, pretty much. Give or take.
70-30. Rich pays for everything.
Shut up and take my money.
So let's move on to the show at hand. Rich had stuff to say. I'm sorry, I interrupted again because of the gimmick.
No, it's okay. Real quick, just saying how like we're equals and everything. One thing we don't do is we haven't fired anyone from the podcast yet, but WWE apparently fired, among other executives and such that are lower level, Dana Warrior, who was part of the community outreach team.
Rich the Riz, sometimes there's a bullshit position to take care of people that you care about. It happens everywhere. It happens in all walks of life. Hell, it happens in government. So, like, if you don't expect that to happen in a company like this. Also, I'm sure UFC has their own community manager or whatever. I believe what you're referring to is many layoffs, but what I think is cutting redundancies.
Congratulations, the rest of you made the team. Except you and you.
You know what I mean? If you already got a guy for a thing, but then it's like a big company. So, you know, maybe they think, the UFC is better at whatever, you know, depending on who they fired or something. Because I know there was like a digital content manager or some shit that got the boot, which I don't say that flippantly. It sucks that you lose your job or whatever, but a lot of the executives, they're probably good. Probably got like golden parachutes and stuff like that. You just do whatever they want.
Yeah, these were all lower level executives, no names I recognized until I got to Dana Warrior. I'm like, oh, her, okay.
Well, no, one of them, I don't remember the lady's name. She was like one of the like a board member type person, like a lady. I forgot what her name was. It's a different person. This isn't that. But like we've mentioned her on the podcast before, but it was like a year ago. So back during the Vince drama.
Okay,
like,
so I know that her name is in the back of my brain somewhere. I don't remember.
Matter. She doesn't wrestle. Who she ever beat?
Exactly.
This is a Basement Bookers podcast. We're not booking business unless that's the thing. But I thought we could just
before we digress too much, did you say The Rock?
Yes, Rich, finally The Rock. But before we get to The Rock, we're gonna talk about more of this speculation. What could possibly happen here? Like what is going on? You know, the UFC, the WWE, a match made in heaven. Did you know that at one point Shane was going to purchase UFC and Vince was like, "Nah, you can't do that."
I think I remember hearing that. I think that was just before he went to do the communications thing in China.
It came up recently. Dana White was in an interview, and he mentioned it. He mentioned that Shane was going to buy UFC at one point, and this was like early. So
Interesting.
like it could have been way different. And now it's like, oh, they got the UFC here.
I feel like this is like the way this merger is happening is bigger than that would have been.
Sure. There's like possibilities of like, oh, if you're done here, maybe you can go do professional wrestling. Like if you're a fighter and like
Hmm.
you're a good talker, but you shouldn't be fighting other guys in a cage anymore.
Hmm.
Maybe you can do like a slightly safer thing where it's like predetermined outcomes and things like that. You don't have to worry about like your brains being turned to mush
You
at
don't
the
got to worry
hands.
about paying a fight team.
Exactly. And you could just transition there. Like obviously the other way is it's way more difficult. Like you gotta vet them, verify like if a guy from there could go fight in a cage.
Yeah,
Otherwise you got CM Punk again. You know what I mean?
I do.
So we don't want that. And from what I understand, the creative is still in Vince's hands. I mean Triple H's hands.
Hmm.
So that's not gonna change. And from what I saw on Twitter somewhere on X, that Vince has vetoing power in UFC stuff. So that's pretty interesting. Which would be like, whatever. I have a mustache.
That's
I don't care. I got
crazy.
things to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. This is like his evil villain mustache.
Yeah. It- it- whatever. He's got what we got. So what do
What do you
you
mean
think?
sexual allegations? Sorry.
That this mustache is not about sexuality. It's about power. It's about power. It's a power mustache.
That's worse.
Yeah. What's your opinion here, champ?
I'm gonna be watching all of this really closely. This is very interesting, especially Vince having veto power in UFC. So, like, is he gonna say no? Number one contender doesn't get to fight for the title. The number two contender does because what? Because he likes him better. See, he's a bigger guy, Jarrett. Like
He's
what?
gonna. I hope he makes like cringe like statements like, like, oh, people have been wondering like, who do you think could make a transition to WWE from UFC? Oh, I was watching some tape. Really think if we could get Kimbo Slice into WWE, it's like, but he's not here. He's dearly departed, Vince. You know
So
how
you're
like
so you're saying Vince with UFC is like the Saudi princes with WWE?
look, they're still looking for Andre the Giant or an Andre the Giant equivalent.
Hmm.
But the best we could get you is Omos, and really, that's not a bad L. Omos can move more
Hmm.
than Andre could, but like Andre had like different issues going on. I think he had gigantism,
Hmm.
but Omos is an actual giant, from what I understand. So
Yeah, forgive me, Andre lovers, but Omos, I feel is more of an athlete than Andre was.
that's just life, man. As people are healthier, they have healthier offspring and things like
Hmm.
that. So the tree grew out of fertile ground, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So, but
I,
Lord knows
I
we,
think I'm
yeah,
picking up what you're putting down. We're gonna see the changes that occur, and stock is at like $100, $102 right now on New York Stock Exchange. TKO.
yeah, I was about to get one for $0.1 or for like
Hmm.
a dollar. I could get a .1 of a share for a dollar with my Cash App. But it's talking
Nice.
about W-9s and shit. It's like, I don't know, that's work. Like, what do I have to
Yeah.
can't I just get a stock and just hold it so I could be a part of the team? Like,
Okay, nice.
I want to
I,
be in
I
on it.
I think I held WWE stock for a little bit. Didn't
Oh yeah.
really not much change when I had it.
I'm thinking about this, man. Like .1. Yeah, you're looking at .1 owner of a point.
Hey, listen, you'll get those shareholder emails.
Exactly, and I could like talk about it on the show, I think.
Yeah, it'd be like, listen, WWE and TKO want to know what you think.
They want to know what I think specifically, this podcast.
That's right.
Excellent.
Listen, 499 episodes.
We're approaching the monumental 500th episode of the Basement Bookers podcast, a multiple of 100. If you take 5 and if you take 105 times, that's literally 500. Don't at me. Scholarships. So yeah, great.
You don't even need to get into that complicated Steiner math for that.
No. All right, fine. We're going to address this right now. I think MJF is a mark. He will always be a mark. Um, Even though I basically gave it like a that's funny, like a side chuckle like that. It's mostly like, come on, bro. Like you just a guy, you just watch the shit, Like you can't. I was expecting it. That's how bad it was. I can't be expecting things. Like stop this.
Hmm.
The only thing he's missing is calling Samoa Joe fat in like all these different ways, which is why I wish he was a heel, because then he could just do that. All these fat asses. I'm not afraid of Samoa Joe. What am I, a donut? Stuff like that.
Hmm. I wasn't expecting it, and I kind of marked out in my seat a little bit when he started reciting the Steiner Math promo. Obviously, like
The context is different because it's a match. You know what I mean? Is it like more than one person in the match? Because Kurt Angle is in the
right,
match too, or something.
right, but
So that's the
so
thing.
right, he obviously made the necessary tweaks, but for me, it seemed like it came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I
Yeah.
I like I wasn't thing is I wasn't thinking about it. So when he started, I'm like, this is Steiner Math. It's Steiner Math. Steiner Math. It like it was one of those things. It was like he's doing it. How is he doing this? He's changing it. This is great. So like
Yeah,
because
like he
I
did
didn't
in
expect it.
practice.
Yeah, like he obviously practiced. Like I
I'd
wasn't expecting it,
practice.
so I loved it.
This podcast would be good if I practice, right? If my part, like if I practiced. Fuck practice, dude.
If I practiced, listen,
Fuck
you're a lot better
practice.
at this than I am. I think.
I was thinking about scripting us, and I'm like, nah, man, I can't read very well anymore. Like sometimes the words they flip,
Mhm. Yeah,
like, no, I
that
can't
old
do that.
dyslexia.
It just comes up that way. It's like and everybody knows when you're reading. Like everybody knows.
Listen, Otis has overcome dyslexia.
No, I'm just saying, like, you specifically, everyone knows when you're reading. So there's no way you can
Oh,
like I can script you. Like
oh yeah,
everyone
no.
knows when you're reading.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible.
It's impossible. Like it takes two to tango. It's unscripted. It's raw and real. That's what you get with the Basement Bookers podcast. Drop a like. See what I was doing? I was doing that. I was doing
Yep.
advertising. We got an extra subscriber. Welcome to the Basement Bookers podcast. 32 strong and growing. And you didn't even need to take a Flintstones vitamin for that. So, without further ado, I'm going to hit a button and we're going to talk about whatever comes up. All right, so here it is. This is Pat McAfee getting a Stone Cold Stunner.
What?
Stone Cold Steve. That's right, Rich. There is. Why is this random picture of Pat McAfee getting a Stone Cold Stunner from Steve Austin? Rich, there is. Can you tell me why I did that?
Probably because Steve Austin is one of The Rock's greatest rivals, and the connection here, besides Steve Austin to Rock, is Pat McAfee living the dream of every wrestling fan that lived through the Attitude Era, myself included. I won't speak for you. I'm sure you as well, but living the dream. Am I right?
I've always wanted to have a private jet. I've always wanted to hang out with Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? I've always wanted to hang out with The Rock. What? Which is what Pat McAfee got to do. He got to beer bash with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And sorry, Jade, we're not talking about you right now. And
Not
here
yet.
he is with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see, it's very blurry, but this is a mark right here, folks. He's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is the best. This is the best ever. Oh, this is the best life ever, guys. Yeah.
Think it was half chub?
Full. I mean, I was at full mast just watching. As soon as The
Well,
Rock came out, it's like years of my life just shut off, and I was back, baby. Basement chairs. The basement chair of basement chair was back, baby.
so
Uh,
I hadn't seen the rumors on social media before the show. I didn't go into the episode expecting The Rock he wasn't even on my mind whatsoever. I didn't know Rock was with Pat earlier in the day, right? But
Yeah, I do all of that. Yeah.
what Pat was saying, that lead up, I'm like, it's The Rock, isn't it? It's the first episode under Endeavor or TKO, whatever. I'm like, they got The Rock, didn't they? And then I hear, if you smell, like, it's The Rock.
Yeah, it was electric. As a matter of fact, here's some evidence of my reaction to The Rock. Uh, the Rock's return. Hopefully sharing audio. I hit the share audio tab. You hear that?
I do.
Finally,
Who's that guy?
The Rock
Yeah, who
has
is that
come
guy?
back to smack down. Yo,
That's my TV.
Endeavor era is
I got it
coming
off
in
because
hot.
of
The
yeah.
Rock is here. The people, they exploded for The Rock. We knew he was going to be here tonight because earlier, obviously, The Rock, and The Rock is here. The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The Rock, one of the greatest actors of our generation, if you count just being yourself in literally every movie. This is The Rock. The Brother Bull. The Jabroni. I can't even keep the camera. Look at everybody's excited. The Rock is finally back, guys. How do you feel about The Rock being back? Hey, get out, bro. Final.
So yes, I am indeed a mark for The Rock. So
Listen, it's The Rock, dude.
and what's not recorded is me yelling about The Rock. I'm like, okay, so I'm streaming Starfield
Hmm.
and I'm still watching SmackDown while I'm playing Starfield because it doesn't matter. No one's there. So I
Right.
pause it and I'm just I basically live streamed me watching SmackDown
That's
and I'm
great.
yelling about The Rock. And I'm like, can you believe it? The Rock is back. And look at what The Rock says. It just rolls off the tongue that The Rock is back on SmackDown. The Rock is here. He's going to lay it to smack it down on Austin Theory. And he had everybody. So The Rock, look at him. He's always been there the whole time. I really was excited. Like, I'm such a mark for The Rock. Like, it's amazing. We could so flippantly talk about him when he's not around. It's like, yeah, whatever. You know what? He's not beating Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is a tribal chief.
It's
I
just
don't
something
even.
about because like we get excited when he comes on TV and everything, and like obviously the fans do. It's so different when you hear that instant, every single person
It was so loud.
erupting,
And
right?
that's me with the filter. Like, I filter noise just so you
Hmm.
hear less of the TV,
Hmm.
but more of the crowd comes out than the Rock's music. Like, you can hear Rock's music, but the people,
Yeah,
they play the music loud there.
they do.
Like, the people. Uh, let's talk about that promo. So The Rock, People's Champion, he goes out
Mhm.
there. I miss him. It was great, but I kind of felt like at times he was like, he was doing his version, the best version of So It's Like This, which is The Rock says, or let The Rock tell you, or the people. Like a
Mhm.
lot of the people, like if
Mhm.
you play it back, you're like, yeah, he's looking for something. And then it turns into me not being able to hear the TV because they keep censoring asshole.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this isn't gonna be great, is it?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna hear anything. And like, well, I guess some segments are getting cut or whatever, and they had to adjust. Like most of the Street Profits match was off
Mhm.
TV. They still did it, but it was like not. It was during a commercial, and they don't got picture in picture, brother.
Yeah, they should maybe do that.
I think they should. It would save so much time. I
Mhm.
think it's like a money thing. Like, think about how much time you'd help, right? You'd like save, right? Like, if you do picture in picture, it's good for the advertisers
Yeah.
because, like, say
'Cause
it's a good match, you're not fast forwarding, you watch the wrestling in the commercial.
exactly. Yeah. So like some people, like even like if you DVR it or have YouTube TV or something like that, then like and you watch it later on, you're probably a little less likely to fast forward a commercial if there's a good match playing in picture in picture.
That's one of the things that AEW does right.
Yep.
is the picture in picture, and always reminding people that there's picture in picture. I just like to hear Excalibur say picture in picture.
Yeah. And for matches I don't care about, when he says for the next 90 seconds, it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're back, folks.
And you could even have bangers. You could have bangers, and like your advertisers will know that, and it's like because they go long. What happens when they're on commercial? You get to see what happens. Most people aren't going to change that, and that would be dope. We're trying to make money here, guys. Let's take it over. Let's just do this, right?
And you know what they could do? Like when they do the picture in picture and everything, you know how like if there's a sort of a big spot during the commercial, even though it's picture in picture, when they come back, they'll still show a replay of that big spot. Instead, don't show the replay. Mention it and say if you watch a picture in picture, you would have seen this. And then like next time, okay, people might be more inclined to actually watch the picture in picture.
Even better, they'd have to rewind if they have it on the DVR.
True.
They'd be watching the commercial.
I think a lot of the DVR services, they send that data to the marketing teams, the advertisers, whatever.
My point was made, you see. And it should, because a lot of people do that, though. Like, they should take that data. It doesn't make sense for them not to. Richard Riz has COVID. Everybody, don't forget Richard Riz has COVID.
Yeah, sorry.
What a
Muting for
wholesome,
coughing.
what a wholesome moment here. The Rock and John Cena together again.
He could see him.
I mean, he's The Rock. He sees everything,
Guess so.
right? I think The Rock is the only person who can see John Cena, even if John Cena doesn't want him to.
Mhm.
That might be his power.
Mhm.
Like I was stoked for Cena to be back. It feels good to be right. I said it, I've said it before. This actors, whatever the strike thing, whatever, The Rock and John Cena aren't gonna have shit to do. And what you know it. John Cena comes, The Rock comes. Man, it's too bad Edge just bounced, man. Like you could have I know some people don't think Edge is that big of a deal, but as far as stars goes, like he's still a pretty big star if you think about it.
I mean, I guess so. Like I didn't think there would ever be a time where WWE and Edge couldn't come to an agreement on money, but I mean,
I think
I
they're
th- I,
still good.
I
Though.
thought I knew him. I guess not.
You think you know him, but I guess you're right, Richard. Is none of us
And then
really know.
Christian with that reference of not having his regular tag partner with him.
Yeah, I wonder if. Nah, it's not gonna happen. If Edge shows up at AEW, like I wouldn't be surprised.
Sexton Hardcastle making
You
a
know
return.
what? I wonder if they will do that. I think he probably just use his name. Like he just go by his name. Like he has a name.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess he could. Like, because he was doing that when he was acting, right?
Yeah, he was going by his non-Edge name. Fuck, I know it too. I'm not looking it up either. Adam Copeland. Boom. That's right. I remember now. I hate using people's shoot names, brother. You're Edge, okay? Adam Copeland doesn't exist. He's gone.
Mhm.
Edge is here in the Basement Bookers podcast. All right. So, yeah, Cena's back with The Rock there. Cena might be getting physical with Solo Sikoa. What do you think of that bit, man? What do you? Wow.
I mean, it would be an interesting way to really make Solo look like a monster, because I feel like I feel like in particular Cena is coming back to help make people.
That's what I'm. Yeah, yeah. And I think the Rock thing is last minute, just for him to show up. They must have just the Briggs truck. Can you just come by?
Oh,
Can
thought that
you
was
just come by?
Taz's music starting.
No, can you just come by?
Mhm.
It's like, all right, The Rock is gonna come by. The Rock is gonna see the people. The Rock. So either he's gonna wrestle Austin Theory,
Mhm.
or all he was gonna do is people's elbow Austin Theory, guys. I know it's that doesn't mean there's gonna be a match, okay? Because but I'm wondering why they didn't use The Rock in that. Why didn't they have if they wanted the roof to explode, they could have had The Rock make the save, but not get physical, just being there, just like standing there, like in front of John Cena or something. and then Solo just backs off.
So I feel like they didn't reference Roman being involved with the bloodline at all on this episode. I think
They
what they
did.
wanted to do,
Paul Heyman,
Heyman did. Okay.
yeah, Paul
It was
Heyman mentioned him. He's like, Roman didn't say for for either of you to do anything. Did Roman okay this or something like that? He said that, something like that.
I'm
Because
trying to
it's
remember what he
some
said.
backstage stuff.
Right. So I remember I think he said like shit.
Yeah,
Go
because it's
brain.
Roman orders these things, and if Roman doesn't say like it's something to that effect, you know what I'm saying? So Roman was mentioned. I'm not making it up. It was on the episode. We don't even have exact like words that he said, but he was mentioned by Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
So it's not
Anyway.
like nobody mentioned Roman Reigns. He exists. And you know who else mentioned Roman Reigns? Finn Balor mentioned Roman Reigns. Finn Balor was trying to recruit Jimmy Uso because you say maybe we could have the Usos in the Judgment Day. There's no leaders in the Judgment Day. Do you know what else is in the Judgment Day? Roman Reigns.
hmm
So
So I feel like this could be leading somewhere. So not only like sort of having Usos join Judgment Day, right? But both factions, Bloodline and Judgment Day, are heel aligned, right? So
yeah.
why not have sort of like a super faction, not necessarily together, but at least allied together?
What you're trying to say is an understanding,
Right.
basically, right? I have to turn the fan on. It's fine.
And what they could be doing is like doing that, start that on the heel side. Maybe they'd eventually, like with Sammy and KO and whoever else, right, on the face side, start to do the same thing, and it kind of could end up like, I mean, like it was different when AEW was doing it because AEW was like just all factions, all faction all the time, right? There was never, there wasn't a whole lot of large faction versus large faction. What if
You
WWE
just
does
want a
something like
bigger
that?
faction? You just want
Right.
bigger factions?
So,
What's better than factions? Bigger factions.
dude, imagine something like Marvel vs. Capcom within WWE or something like that. Just like super factions facing off against each other. It's like Avengers versus X-Men.
Well, in order to, yeah, what you do is you would take what you're saying is basically the top heel faction on Raw and the top heel faction on SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
and they're coordinating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe on shows where everybody is, maybe they'll help out
Yep.
because they have like an alliance or like a syndicate, even. Like if you think about it, it's kind of like a satellite of a syndicate. You know, it's like here's these guys and here's these guys, but then there's no leaders. But the tribal chief is the head of the table. He sits at the head of all tables. I don't think he'd be interested in that. You know, he'd want to be the man in charge, but that's not how the Judgment Day operates.
Right.
And like I like yours because it always has to be that somehow the heels are just great at teaming up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the faces that can't seem to like get along until the last minute, like when they really have to,
Mm-hmm.
and then put aside their, you know, whatever and be like, let's work together on this kind of thing. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
heels still lose 3-on-1 when they have three, which is
yeah,
weird. And it's not something like it happens far too often to really be practical, you know?
well, all I want is something leading to a Survivor Series type match because that's after the next one.
That is coming up.
Speaking of, Phil says he's got for the next 2 months, he's got nothing to do. So his calendar's clear. Could we see him
And
at the Royal
then
Rumble? Yeah, I don't know. I think you know what it is though. This is my answer. This is a joke. It's a joke, obviously. He did say that, but I'm thinking he's got nothing to do. He loves people talking about him, so that's why he says shit like that.
yeah,
Because
he's up
then he's
there with
still in the conversation, which is smart. That's what
Mhm.
I do. Because that's what you have to do. Like if
And
you're
even
that
if
famous,
yeah, and even if no talks have happened yet, this doing so, people talking about him potentially being there will automatically raise his asking price.
And it's like in anything, for good or for ill. They're still
Definite
talking about you.
ill.
They're still talking about you.
Remember,
Doesn't matter.
you can't say Phil without saying ill.
He should run for president. He could win. He could win. Dude, straight edge. Like the only skeletons in his closet is that he's a dick, and he's already 90% better than all of them. And he's at a decent age. Like, what are we doing? No, I'm kidding. We don't want that. So I'm just saying he is straight edge,
Rock Austin 2024. What?
Then again, the last guy was straight edge. So I don't know what that means. Actually, I don't think it counts if you take cough medicine a lot or whatever. Like if you're straight edge, you don't even take cough medicine, I don't think. Because like some of that cough medicine has alcohol in it, I think. You need
Most of it
Motussin.
does.
Yeah. Right? It's got like 0.1% or some shit.
I'm looking for the inactive ingredients here.
And then I have a question about that when it comes to like AA. Can they have cough medicine or do they have to tough it out?
It
Does it depend
depends.
on the demon?
So AA in particular, because obviously that's an alcohol thing.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
I've
why I'm
asked-
mentioning it because there's
Yeah.
alcohol in medicine.
Right.
Cough
I've asked.
medicine.
And I'll put it to you this way. There's also, like, you can't make vanilla extract without alcohol.
Okay.
So
I mean, there's different levels to.
I went to a sober party one time and I was going to bring stuff and I was like, and I don't remember exactly where I heard about it first or whatever, but I had to ask. I'm like, this icing, like it's vanilla, like is that cool? And I was told it's such a negligible amount in icing, in vanilla extract at least. Like it's such a negligible amount. You would have to, those tiny little bottles of vanilla extract and how
Mhm.
super strong they are. Like you could make like 50 cakes with like one little vial like that of vanilla extract. You would be sick of vanilla, but long before you got even a hint of a buzz.
Like just a tiny bit.
Right. Now, as far as it affecting your blood alcohol content, it's so little, it won't. As far as what's in cough medicine, like cough medicine from like the 80s definitely had a higher percentage. I don't think
That's
it's
why they
in,
work better.
yeah, I don't think it's in, I won't mention the name, but it's got a big fucking Q, as they say.
Hmm.
I don't see any in this one. Maybe in the liquid. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Hangman Adam Page, did you know that Hangman Adam Page and Brian Cage's match spiked the female demo somehow? Like I forgot the data, but I saw it on Twitter. It's like who's looking for that? That's crazy. That's why we were talking about AA. I'm like, how do I get this back to wrestling? The best thing I could do is Hangman Adam Page. The best I could do is Hangman Adam Page. Say no more, fam.
For real.
Speaking of Hangman Adam Page and the Basement Booker Segway cast, Jade Cargill has finished out allegedly her contract with AEW. From what I understand, they couldn't come together on money, but I don't know if that's true because I think she's good. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that stuff, she's got like a minor league baseball team with her, I think her boyfriend or something, whatever, spouse, friend. They have like a baseball team and like, they're not hurting for cash. I just think, and the rumors going around is that she would be straight to the main roster and just booked as a final boss type character in the women's division, which I'd be all for. Like you'd be an idiot not to, because all the fans know. They know about the streak. There's no way. Like if you're buying tickets and you're going to a WWE show, most of them know this. Like what, 60 something and 0 as TBS champion?
Yeah, 60,
only pinned,
61, something like that.
And her only pinned twice by Statlander. They hugged it out. That was her final match on Rampage. And shame on y'all for recording like stuff and just spoiling it for us. Like that would have been a nice moment to see for ourselves. I saw that on X. Somebody's like, camera phone video of them hugging each other and stuff. It's like, yeah, wow, you were there first. You got to see it first. F everybody else. Damn it.
Yeah.
I probably would have done the same thing and been the same kind of person. But the point is, at the end of the day, what do you do, Rich? How do you do this? Do you disagree with whatever maybe might happen with Jade Cargill coming in to the WWE, hot shot it to the main roster, which I have already said I think it's cool.
I could understand why they would do so. I said a while back that Jade Cargill was like she won the award. Maybe she won the golden pencil. I don't remember, but for most improved, right? She had gone like her first few matches. I said she's green but has a lot of potential, and then like the switch flipped pretty quick.
She was dressed
And
like the Hulk that week, by the way. That's what he meant. She was actually green. She was green at that time. She was actually literally green. She was She-Hulk, literally green.
anyway,
Yeah.
Like I could like she'll probably go to PC to shore some things up. Maybe obviously check to see her cardio because this match on Rampage was kind of short.
Good.
Yeah, but
I got 2 words for you. Well, it's not a word. It's more like noises from my mouth.
okay.
Duh, 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 duh. Duh, duh, duh,
I see.
duh, 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 duh.
I see the theory, but I feel like okay if they're gonna do that, right?
You
Her
bring her
off
in.
time,
Yeah.
her off time should be spent at the PC getting more fundamentals so that she can have an Iron Man match.
What a
Not,
mark.
not saying she has to have an Iron Man match, but like Jade, if you keep her matches short and she's dominant, awesome. Final boss thing, like Jadeberg, if you want to call her that, cool. But eventually, every monster gets taken down. Who's going to take her down? I'm not even speculating on that yet. We don't know if she's coming to WWE. If that's what they do, if they want to make her a monster, she does need to shore up for when she does have to actually go the distance against someone like an Asuka, a Charlotte, a Becky, Bailey, Io Sky. There's a lot of greats on the roster right now.
Sometimes I think you forget that professional wrestling is a performance sport, dude. Like, it's a play. She's going to play a part. Like, you act like she's like here and everybody else on the WWE division's like up here. Like, she's decent.
She is
And
decent. She's better. Like she's better than decent. I just feel like there are some minor things she could improve on.
All right,
And
well,
being on the bigger stage of WWE, I feel like if there is a little bit of mishandling of her, of like maybe a bad camera angle one day, someone with a phone recording the wrong thing, she could get exposed. And
anybody could. Anybody could, though. That's anybody on any given day.
okay.
There's video of CM Punk stabbing himself in the head with the blade at All In, dude. Like, it could happen to anyone. You got to be a little fair here. You got to be a little fair here. You know
I
what I
am being
mean?
fair. Like
What I'm trying
I
to
would love to
mention
see her on the main roster in
is that
WWE.
you're talking about a business that's run by people that know how to highlight people's strengths and hide their weaknesses. You forget about that. You forget yourself, sir. Granted, it works way better on some more than others. Obviously, like Elias is no longer with the WWE and no one noticed it. Okay. So, and that's not his fault. Like, and people are saying, oh, is this a missed opportunity? It's like, no, he did what he could. What was had? Not everyone is a missed opportunity.
They gave him chicken shit. They
Now,
absolutely gave him chicken shit.
yeah, you go out there. He did the best of what he could. He'll land on his feet. I mean, he's a musician with a album. You know, he could just stick to music.
Isn't it 2 albums now?
Sure, and walk with Elias. You know, he can't be Elias anymore legally. But
Emery,
maybe
the little brother.
sure, he just wants to be with his family. I don't know. Maybe go into the family business, whatever that is. We never got that deep into the lore. It was cut off too soon. the return of Nia Flapjacks. But before we talk about Nia Flapjacks, if you bring in Nia Flapjacks, and you don't need to worry about Jade, okay? And I don't even know what they're gonna call her either. You got Tegan Knox on the roster. What has she done? Okay, you got all these
I
little
think she's hurt
people.
again.
Oh fuck! All right. Has she touched the women's tag team championship? Maybe she passed it in catering. Something had to have
Maybe.
happened. But look, here's what I do with Jade. This has to be after Rhea deals with the Nia Jax problem. Then the music hits, and here comes Jade,
A
and that's who
storm is
beats Rhea
coming.
Ripley. Yeah, if you have her beat Rhea Ripley with a World Heavyweight Championship, I don't care. If you want to keep it on Rhea Ripley, fine. There's always Io Sky. But like, yeah, fine. You could do it that way and just save the money match once like Jade's established, and then have people who don't really know her as well as they know Rhea Ripley, because they may know of her, they may know of the things she's done, but like it's different when you're here, like kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And just have, and everybody's like, oh man, with Jade or Rhea. And it's like anytime they're near each other, even the possibility, people start to lose their shit. Like you'll get like at the women's Royal Rumble, if for some like one of those things, if they happen to be standing in front of each other, I don't know why she would be in it. She'd still be the world heavyweight champion, Rhea Ripley would be. But like this is awesome. They're just standing across from each other, that kind of vibe.
Maybe they save Jade's debut for the Rumble.
She'd have to win.
Okay.
If she doesn't win, don't debut her. Just like with Cody. Makes perfect sense.
But then again, AJ Styles didn't win, and
That's different.
why?
Because it is different. It's just different. It's a different thing. And it worked out well.
Did work out well.
She should win. If she's going to be a credible threat, why wouldn't she win the Royal Rumble? You could have her
Maybe-
do one of those things where like she breaks a record or something, because that's easy to fix if you like have a fallout. Just have another lady do it. But you could just have her do like the most eliminations, put her in at like number 2 or 1 so she has like a good entrance, Or yeah, it would have to be in the middle maybe. So like somewhere where she comes in and she cleans up the mess.
Mhm.
And like one of the people she eliminates has to be like at least an A tier star.
Yeah.
You can even have her dump Nia Jax out herself.
She's not like most girls.
Yeah, there's so many things you could do.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I'm not here to change your mind.
Nia
but
Jax.
You guys can, yeah.
Let me ask.
Nia Jax, yes.
Tamina still works there, right?
Yeah, I think maybe she helps out backstage or something.
I'm really curious why you bring back Nia Jax, but you're not doing anything with Tamina.
Nia Jax is younger and she's bigger. And like, the thing is, it's just that she's been beaten so many times.
Not repackage, but I don't know.
Okay.
Kind of a missed opportunity, I think.
In my mind, it's like I know too much about her.
Mm.
I know she's not like that mean person. She's like this sweet person. She's been, she's like to be a baby face forever for some reason. I don't know.
Did
It's
the
just not
24/7
credible.
thing? Did the 24/7 thing ruin her?
Yeah, the whole like Akira Tozawa ruined Tamina, and it's good that Rhea Ripley destroyed Tozawa. That was. I take it back.
I was gonna say it's a hot take.
I take it back. I'm not upset at Rhea Ripley anymore for beating the shit out of Akira Tozawa because he deserves it for ruining Tamina.
There you go.
He deserves it. Rhea Ripley was the retribution that was just waiting in the wings to fix the wrongs in this world. Rhea Ripley has passed judgment upon you, Akira Tozawa, and you are found wanting. Anyway, that beef between me and Akira Tozawa is renewed. I even forgot about the one I had with Shinsuke Nakamura. Or did I? Because I'll never forget. And as long as I'm half of this Basement Bookers podcast, you will never be the world heavyweight champion. Ever. Take that, Nakamura. I probably pissed off a lot of Shinsuke Nakamura stans. Like, they're really mad at me right now. How dare you? So how do you feel about Nia Jax coming out on top and letting Raquel Rodriguez know that she's the one that's not like most girls. They summoned her, Rich Riz. They were
did.
asking for it.
They were. There's a lot of wordplay going on lately. Christian and that one, I guess, but a lot of teasers.
So the answer to my question about Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, obviously, that thing there. How do you feel about Nia Jax coming in? And don't tell me I was alone in this. As soon as we got the stipulation that Dominic Mysterio would be banned from ringside, that there would be some kind of chicanery
Yeah.
from a female or something or anybody, because it didn't have to be Dom. It could have
Right.
been Judgment Day.
Yeah, it could have been Finn or Priest. Like Priest,
Yeah.
I feel like the dynamic is Priest is more central. Like Priest will help Finn, Priest will help Rhea, Priest will help Dom. Finn less involved with Rhea and Dom,
Everyone
right?
helps everyone.
True, but I feel like Priest does more of the legwork.
Either way, any one of them could have done it, or all of
Right.
them.
True.
Like, they should have just said Judgment Day. That would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
That really doesn't help.
Mhm.
It's like,
Nia, if Nia Jax, let's say, okay, so let's say Judgment Day is recruiting, right? Usos, maybe not. Maybe McRoblox, right? If Nia Jax joins Judgment Day, what if
it could have been him.
could have been him? But what if she also joins the Bloodline?
I don't know. Would they let her? Would they be like, no, you gotta leave that one. You can't be here if you're gonna be there.
I guess they could do that. I mean, like the rosters are split right now, unless you're LA Knight or Miz. Yeah.
Because if they don't, I'll just be like, hey, are you a spy? Like, is she a spy? Like, why is she in both places? Is she a spy? She's got to be a spy. She's family. Why would she? She's a spy, right? Like, that's going to be me the whole time. She's a spy, right?
I mean, it could definitely make for some interesting scenarios.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how likely it is, but it's something that, like, if I were on the creative team, I might throw out there as sort of like an idea, like a nugget. Maybe we do this, and then like the people that are like better at it will then take the nugget that I threw and weave a story around it.
I don't have a lot of experience with Wolfpack and Black and White, but did
Mhm.
they ever have somebody that was with both?
No.
That's good. I
Because
imagine a stupid shirt that's half red and half white.
Wolfpack
Fuck
had
off.
split off from
Obviously,
the
I
original.
know that. I know where the Wolfpack came from, my friend. I know where the red and black comes from, brother. So I agree. If you want to do that, you could do that. You could have her on both teams. Maybe she's a spy. Maybe she's not a spy. Either way, it's not like they're going to share a locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like the Judgment Day, the Bloodline, they might not share a locker room, but they share values. Rock and Roman at Mania. And Rock is the thing that's going on about The Rock is they're saying he was willing to do something, but it needed to be something that changed the industry. Like, what does that mean, dude? What do you mean? How basically he's like fundamentally change the industry. Like how
Unionize.
yeah. After he beats if he lifts up the gold championship and he says Union, bah, 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 and everybody just goes, what? The Rock. All right, look, I love The Rock. You know I'm a mark for The Rock, but that is such self-important shit to say. Like, I'm not. It's got to be something that's going to change the entire universe forever. I'm going to melt down the championship and make a glove. Like what? Jesus Christ, I don't know. Look, I want Cody versus Roman. A lot of people want that. But a lot of people want The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But The Rock shouldn't go over Roman Reigns.
No.
Doesn't make any sense.
I'm okay with either match. I feel like they're both big matches. They're both, certainly headliners.
I was thinking about your Nia Jax idea.
Hmm.
What if they just do that with like a Uso on each team?
They could do that too. One in
Like,
Judgment Day, one in Bloodline.
could Jay? Like, I know it won't happen, guys. I'm speculating. It's possible, but like, could Jay join the Judgment Day and still be a face? Like, does he have to like be a bully? Like, does he have to like go in and maybe help if they're getting beat up? But like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it doesn't work because is Jay going from running with the wrong crowd to running with the other wrong crowd? You know what I
Mm.
mean? And we already had him and Sammy finally make up. I think, yeah. You know what? I think Jay in the Judgment Day is impossible. I take it back. It doesn't make sense from a character perspective, especially with the growth he's made. I think it's an about face, and it's going to make him just as bad as Jimmy because Jimmy's like the opposite side of that coin. He's not. He's
Mhm.
on a bad road right now. I don't know what's going on there.
So you know how they say like you're on the wrong side of the tracks?
Yeah,
Well, imagine there's like a crossroads in the tracks, right? Tracks going this way and tracks going this way. And like it's like you mean you're on this side of the tracks is the right side and this is the wrong side, but like you're up here and you're like, okay, let me go on the right side of the tracks, and you go over here, but still you're on the wrong side of the tracks because you crossed the wrong
right,
tracks. And
right.
that's what going from Bloodline to Judgment Day would be doing. It's like you're just you change shows, but you're still on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, and the growth is just not there. I feel
Yeah.
like the people are behind him. That's the growth.
Hmm.
He's done with that shit. And it's about him sticking to being his own man, I think, right now.
Hmm.
At least for now. There lies a parallel universe, Rich Riz, a universe where there is a super Uso, Jimmy J. And Jimmy J is in the reality in which Jimmy ate his twin in the womb.
Mm.
And he is Jimmy J. He's huge, he's jacked, and probably the current world heavyweight champion. He probably beat Roman for the
Mm.
championship because he's like the perfect one there, Jimmy J, because he
Hmm.
consumed them in the womb. All right, out of sci-fi territory, but yeah, let's keep Jay. Jay's on a good trajectory. I think they did great with Jay. Like, I feel bad for Jimmy, honestly. Like, unless this leads somewhere, like, let's just wait. But right now, it doesn't really make sense. Like, it really hurt his character when he's first like we're out. Did he start this? He started the revolution.
He did.
And then he's like, no, I'm in though. I'm in though. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like a guy who's like, I'm kind of screwed without Jay. So guys, bloodline.
Woo.
Unless it's a work. Unless he's in deep cover. But no, it can't be because he cost Jay the championship. Because the story is Jay would have pinned Roman if he wasn't pulled out by Jimmy.
Hmm.
So, it's hard to imagine
Hmm.
um what they're gonna do with Jimmy because I have no idea how I would do it. I can't basement book that.
I maybe they are booking him as sort of like the flounderer, right? Like he tried to strike out on his own, leave the bloodline. Then Jay bounced, and he's like, "Can I come back now?"
I miss my brother. I don't want to be by myself.
Yeah, maybe just that's the plan.
Yeah. Uh wow. That's some deep stuff. So LA Knight beat the Miz on SmackDown clean.
Hmm.
So that's over. Miz can stay on Raw where the hell he belongs. And who knows with this roster, what's going to happen with this brand split thing in the future? Like, do they still want to keep it this way? I think they should. I think it should stay the way it is. There's no need to really change
Hmm.
anything with that. So we almost forgot to talk about this. Becky Lynch is the NXT Women's Champion, as I have predicted in Messenger with you.
Yep.
That would happen. And of course, the man equals ratings. It skyrocketed. And I'll tell you the difference. Like the difference between Seth Rollins going on NXT to defend his championship. I don't even know if he defended. He just went to wrestle. But did he defend it against Braun Breaker? I don't remember.
He did.
But he defended it against Braun Breaker. The reason that probably didn't score as high as Becky Lynch coming to challenge Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Championship, because there was a 99.9999% chance that Becky Lynch was going to win the NXT Women's Championship. You'd have to be a fool to think they're going to have Tiffany Stratton beat Becky Lynch.
Mhm.
As awesome as she is, you're not going to have Becky Lynch come to get beat on SmackDown. There's just no way. It seems, I don't know, but I think Becky's first opponent might be Lyra Valkyria or whatever. So
That'd be
we'll
cool.
see. Your thoughts?
It's interesting. Becky is champ. Obviously, her first reign. This makes her a Grand Slam champion.
That's
I believe.
right.
Trying to remember her. Remind me of her with the tag titles.
She was tagged with Trish Stratus, and that was
Yes.
recently.
Okay. Yeah, that
It
was
started this
recent.
whole feud thing. Oh no,
You're
Lita.
right.
Sorry,
It,
Lita.
yeah. It was.
And then Trish Stratus had to substitute Lita because she beat Lita up.
Yeah.
It took her spot. So
Yeah.
Lita and Trish Stratus, yeah.
All right. So she's gonna beat Lyra Valkyria. Who else?
I think after she beats a
Stratton.
few people, it's gonna be her and Stratton again. They're gonna run it back, and Becky's gonna give her the rub.
Hmm.
Maybe No Mercy.
You know, that was what I was thinking.
Maybe that's a good way to sell No Mercy
It
because
could
they
be.
don't. Yeah,
But they also announced the start of the women's breakout tournament. They didn't say anything about a men's breakout tournament,
yeah.
which was what I remember triggered my thought about maybe Jade going to NXT first.
What if the winner of the NXT Breakout Tournament just gets to go to Raw or SmackDown, and she wins that? Then
Yeah.
fine, okay. The thing is with the tournaments, it's like then you see her. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
If you're
know.
watching NXT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you
Right.
waste the reveal on NXT because it's like we saw her on NXT already.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like I'm just trying to think about it this way. It's like I know she's nowhere near as big of a star, but it's like having Cody Rhodes debut on an NXT breakout tournament first and then come and challenge for the you know what I'm saying? Like
I think that's more than a little different.
I guess. Why
I
you
mean,
can't
think
just
about
do
it.
like
Think about it. Cody did stuff on the indies. Like so many people did stuff on the indies. We have seen literally every Jade Cargill match.
okay.
It's like she doesn't have a lot of She has 62 matches under her belt.
Dude,
That's
I
it.
don't care. I don't give a shit how many matches someone's had. You know, one I'd care if they were fighting for real, but they're not fighting for real. I mean, they are fighting for real, but for real. I don't know. I can get myself out of that little like I used to do that where it's like, well, they just don't have the experience there. And it's like, well, with me having zero experience in broadcast at all, and I
Mm.
do this here podcast, I have some expert opinion I'm gonna lay down here, brother. Let me tell you something, okay? And you being a producer, all right, you're a producer, all right? How
Mm-hmm.
much TV have you made?
499 episodes, give or take.
That's right, god damn it. This
Actually,
is
most of them not
YouTube.
visual. But
Yes, we have more episodes than Jade Cargill has matches. But the difference is that we're not using our full bodies. We don't have to make sure that they're crafted into a
We're-
fine, carved, muscular, shapely, all the positive things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's maintenance. That's a lot to keep up.
we barely use our brains.
You use yours? I got to start. All right. Basement chair brain. 1%. All right, we're set. I've turned up the knob.
Hmm.
We're on. Anyway, quite the outie to this episode. Well, wait, did I say no, I wasn't done yet. I just don't think that it matters really if she's had 62 matches or 10 matches,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you come in, you're fresh here. It's a new universe. So I just want to give positivity to like new changes and things like that. Because unlike the jabronis out there who always hating, in regards to Jade Cargill, before we move on to a very special announcement that was made this past Dynamite, uh, right? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Dynamite. It was
Yep.
definitely Dynamite. Yeah, it was Dynamite. So on Dynamite, I just want to say, like, there's a lot of negative. There was people saying, "Oh, when she was in AEW, you didn't care," but now all you want to do is book her versus every WWE superstar. First of all, I always thought Jade was awesome. She grew on me. Okay, she's great. Right? I don't care if she's a little like. I don't care about like. Not everybody has to wrestle like I don't know Becky Lynch or whoever the best you think is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can, there's ways, man. Not everybody. Like she could just you could just have her as a power wrestler, you know? Like she's got like her moves. Just hit jaded or whatever they're gonna call it. Like I don't even know what name she's gonna use. Whatever. And boom. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
with Cody there, she'll be fine. Cody makes sure she'll looked after. If Ricky Starks goes there, even better. How cool would that be? Amazing, because that's the other thing. That WWE's looking at a lot of people from AEW potentially to try to get them over here.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So Rich the Riz, apart from the tragedy of Ricky Starks losing the second pearl necklace given to him by Big Bill, tell us,
So sad.
tell us about the biggest news in the wrestling world for Wrestle Dream.
Well, for Wrestle Dream, it's been announced Brian Danielson is fighting Zack Sabre Jr. I've talked about this potential for a while, like ever since the first Forbidden Door. It's like this could happen. If for wrestling purists, this is what we want to see. I cannot wait. This is the most anticipated match for me on Forbidden Door. Um, oh, 1 second. Sorry, I just heard Roddy say Adam. Okay, go ahead.
I really hope that Roddy gets his vision back. I wasn't sure how the two are related. It must be very Samoa Joe is a very strong man, very
Mhm.
strong. I was thinking about like how we made comparisons to like Roddy being like a member of Metallica, but I'm really starting to think he's also got a little Will Ferrell in him in Talladega Nights. So I was thinking about there's a bit where he's in the hospital and he can't feel his legs. He's saying he can't feel his legs, but
Mhm.
he totally can feel his legs. That he's fine. Nothing was wrong with his legs, and they stab him in the leg with a fork, and then he just starts screaming with the fork in his leg. Feel like that could happen to Roddy. Like he's just like he's got the neck brace. He's in the chair,
Mhm.
and he's like, like I don't know if I'll ever walk again. Roddy, you could walk.
And you know,
They
regarding this
said you could
angle,
walk, and then have somebody kick him, and then he could be like, "Man, I really wish I could feel my leg right now." You know?
uh, regarding this angle, how is it that Mike Bennett has succeeded in becoming the most boring member of this angle?
Dude, I always thought he was boring. No offense to him. He probably thinks I'm boring. A lot of people probably think I'm boring, but I couldn't tell you much about Mike Bennett's characters. Like I wasn't really into Ring of Honor. He didn't really get a fair shake in the Fed. WWE, I'm saying it like a smark because it makes me feel cool. I had
Mhm.
never even used that before, and I'm fucking doing it. I'm fucking doing it.
I feel like
Uh,
his Impact run was his best run that I've seen. I didn't see any of his Ring of Honor stuff either.
yeah. But I
Like
don't like to insult people. I don't like to shit on people like that.
like Matt
But
Taven, I always said he had like he had an interesting look,
yeah,
like the half shaved head, like kind of just a weird general look, but like it came together with his promo ability, right? And
yeah. That's a
in
look though.
ring, yeah, in ring he's pretty good. He holds his own and everything. Mike Bennett, I can't even tell you a freaking movie does. I know nobody does.
Look, I don't, and it's not my fault. But yeah, I really like Roderick Strong is really good, and I tried to tell the
Adam.
people, yeah, that's really fun what he's doing. I just hope he doesn't get. Oh, I had an idea. Like if he's in a wheelchair and
Mhm,
people don't believe him that he can't walk,
mhm.
and he just go to Orange Cassidy and be like, Orange Cassidy, kick me as hard as you can. And then Orange Cassidy does that kick. He's like, see, I didn't feel a thing.
Mm,
And it just keeps
that'd be
on
great.
going. And then Orange can be like, he can't feel his legs. Ah. Well, I'm also looking forward to Brian Dander, Zack Sabre Jr. Not as much as you.
Mhm.
Zack Sabre Jr. to me is just a guy that wears little trunks. I don't know what to do here, but to say he's a bendy guy and he will bend you. I think that's fair to say. You know,
Sure.
It's
I
going to
mean,
be good. It's going to be
I'm
really
predicting
good.
this as a match of the year candidate.
I mean, you say that about every Brian Danielson match.
Only
So
because
that's
he's been having like dream matches lately. Wrestle dream matches.
oh my God, let it not turn into a wrestle wet dream, brother, which is what it is for you because you're really into that match. Look, let me tell
Not
you
like that.
something. You can shake your head as much as you like because The Rock is back and the Basement Bookers podcast wants you to like and subscribe. Come on down. If you had fun, I had fun, Rich. Did you have fun?
I did have fun. As we always say, you got the link tree down below. Do the subscribe, follow, this, that, and the other. And Joe's got a parting message.
The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Bookers. Hey, I do have a catchphrase.